So there are several upcoming seasons of DCTV, whether it be a start of a new show or just a new season of a show that has been running for years. With that, I figured I'd rank the upcoming seasons from my least anticipated to my most anticipated. And I am only including shows that I watch, obviously, so shows like Black Lightning and stuff like that I don't watch won't be included on this list. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this list. In last place is Legends of Tomorrow Season 5. So, I don't really know where else this show can go, and I really wasn't a fan of Season 4. I know some people like Season 4, but I just didn't like what they did with it. I just think a lot of the characters aren't interesting anymore, and the new characters that they are introducing into the show, like Mona, are not good characters, so I'm not looking forward to this season whatsoever. Also, where they left off in Season 4 with the cliffhanger just has me thinking they are going to be doing more of the same that they did in Season 4, which just lessens my anticipation for the season. Next up on the list is Batwoman. This is another show I am really not anticipating, but I'm willing to give it a chance. The first trailer wasn't good, and I'm just not very interested in a Batwoman show because I feel like they're just going to be foreshadowing Batman a lot. We're never going to get to see him. And a lot of the Batman villains they are probably going to alter in some way just to fit more with Batwoman. And I think there's a good chance that they may kind of ruin some of Batman's rogues gallery, which I'm not looking forward to. But like I said, I'm willing to give it a chance, so that's the only reason I have it above Legends, is because I think this show does have potential, as where I think Legends is just overstaying its welcome. Now getting into the shows I am at least somewhat anticipating. The Flash Season 6. For me, The Flash has kind of been a downhill slope. I think it has gotten worse and worse as the show has gone on. I know a lot of people did enjoy Season 5, and I'm happy that people enjoyed it. It just wasn't for me. I didn't like Nora as a character at all, and the only highlight throughout most of the season was Ralph and Eobard, and we had very little Ralph. Sherlock was good too, just anything with Tom Cavanaugh is great. The show's gotten a new showrunner, and they've promised us that they are going to go back to their Season 1 and 2 roots. That it's going to be more like it is in the comics with Iris being a reporter and all that. The trailer didn't really show any of that though, it just gave the impression that it's going to be more the same that we've been getting the past few seasons. Now it's just a trailer, I can be reading it completely wrong, and they can be going in a completely different direction, going back to those Season 1 and 2 roots, which is when I loved the show, really enjoyed it, and that's what I'm hoping happens, so I'm holding out hope that I'll enjoy it, but I'm having cautious optimism about it. I love The Flash as a character, so I'm anticipating the show. Grant Gustin usually always puts in a great performance, so it has more going for it than Batwoman and Legends does. I've never really been that big of a fan of Supergirl, but with the show coming off Season 4, I am actually looking forward to it. Before Season 4, the show didn't really have strong writing, and outside of Reign, the villains were pretty weak. But everything changed in Season 4. Season 4 of Supergirl is one of my favorite seasons in the entire Arrowverse. I enjoyed most of the episodes and the overarching story they were telling, and I'm just hoping that the show can repeat what it did in Season 4 with Season 5. Kicking off the top 5 is Harley Quinn. I've always been a fan of Harley Quinn, Batman, and all of Batman's rogues, so the inclusion of Batman and his greater rogues gallery in the show has just got me more anticipated than I would have been if it was just a standalone Harley Quinn show. Of course, with it being a Harley Quinn show, you would expect an appearance or two from the Joker and Poison Ivy, but from the trailer, it looks like we're going to be seeing Bane and some of Batman's other rogues, which is just going to be amazing. It's going to be like a Batman show, but with Harley Quinn as the main character, not Batman, so I think the show has a lot going for it. The animation isn't amazing to me, but it looks different, and I like that. Since I can't count, actually kicking off the top 5 is Stargirl. So we haven't gotten a trailer or anything from the show, just a look at her costume, and knowing that the Justice Society of America is going to be in it is enough to put it at number 5 on the list. Plus, DC Universe hasn't really done anything wrong, I don't think. I think Titans was great, I think Doom Patrol was absolutely amazing, and I think the first half of Young Justice Outsiders was really strong. I think it fell off a little bit in the back half, but we'll get more into that later. overall, the content that DC Universe has been putting out, I've really enjoyed, so it just makes my anticipation for this show even stronger. It really does pain me to put Young Justice this low, but the back half of Outsiders was just a disappointment for me. It's not that it was bad, it just wasn't great. I don't even know if I'd classify it as good, just the back half of the season was definitely the weakest the show has been in almost every aspect. It was the worst the writing had been, it's the worst the pacing of the show had been, things that were teased in the first half of the season, none of it was paid off whatsoever really. They teased the Deathstroke and Terra stuff, but that never came to fruition. And I know they have season 4, but it was just disappointing for them not to pay anything off. We never saw Jason again. Darkseid never had a speaking role outside of episode 7, and I think they just focused on the most uninteresting characters. Like, they were focusing on characters I just didn't really care about. I don't think Halo, Geoforce, characters like that really worked by themselves or with characters like Beast Boy. They needed someone to bounce off of, like a Dick or a Superboy. Like, the episodes that Superboy was with the team, I tended to enjoy more than when they were just out alone. Like I said, I wouldn't classify the season as bad, but it is by far the worst season of the show in my opinion. I think the first and second season are much better, much stronger than the third season was overall. And I am still really anticipating season 4 of Young Justice. I am extremely happy it's getting a 4th season. There are just 3 upcoming seasons that I am anticipating a little more. The only reason I have Arrow Season 8 on the list so high is because it is the final season of the show, and it is going to be a love letter. It's only 10 episodes, which I think will benefit the show greatly. And I think it's extremely interesting with at least the first half of the season. Each episode will focus on a previous season of the show. Like, episode 1 is going to focus on season 1 and so on. I don't think they have an episode focusing on season 2 because they did not get Manu Bennett back to play Slade Wilson, which is extremely disappointing. Deathstroke is my favorite Arrow villain, and he is overall my favorite Arrowverse character. I really enjoy his interpretation of Slade. So it's disappointing that they didn't get him back for the final season of the show, when in my opinion he is the highlight of the entire show. But it will definitely be interesting seeing Oliver and the Monitor going around recruiting heroes for Crisis hopefully, and to see some returning faces such as Malcolm Merlyn, Moira Queen, and Prometheus Adrian Chase, Tommy Merlyn as well. I'm just hoping it's truly going to be what they're saying it is going to be, and just from the news on production and stuff they've announced, it seems that it will be. It will be a love letter to the show, and it should be an extremely fun time. And with it only having 10 episodes, there shouldn't be filler episodes, so hopefully every episode in the season is at least somewhat enjoyable and is pretty good. The number 2 and number 1 spots are extremely close, but at runner-up is Doom Patrol Season 2. Doom Patrol Season 1 is probably my favorite season of DCTV since Young Justice Season 1, which is high praise. The only reason it isn't number 1 is because I have a stronger attachment to the characters in the show that is at number 1. Also, we haven't seen a trailer or anything, but Season 1 did enough to get me excited for Season 2. Season 1 got me invested with these characters, and the story it told was absolutely amazing, intriguing, and it kept me invested and intrigued in the plot lines, the storylines, the characters, the entire season, and I am just expecting more of the same in Season 2. But at number 1, if you haven't guessed it already, it is Titans Season 2. Now, I probably praised Season 1 of the show a little too much because looking back on the season, it's not as amazing as I thought it was as the show was airing. I still absolutely love the season though. It does have its problems, especially with CGI and stuff like that, but that could all come down to budget. I'm hoping it got a bigger budget for Season 2 and that those CGI problems can be resolved. I'm also hoping that this season has a little bit of a tighter narrative than the first season did, and I'm hoping that the show focuses on characters aside from Dick a little more. I'm still hoping it focuses on Grayson, obviously, but it was heavily focused on Dick in Season 1, which I understand why, but if they were to do that over again, it might as well be a Nightwing show, a Dick Grayson show, rather than a Titan show. So, judging by the trailers and everything, it does look like they'll be focusing on the Titans as a team more than they did last season. I'm hoping we're going to see more of Hawk and Dove than we did last season. Judging by the trailers, it looks that way. We'll be getting Superboy and Aqualad. And the thing I'm most excited for, Deathstroke. Deathstroke is one of my favorite villains in all of DC, and he is by far my favorite Titans villain, so I am so excited to see him in this season. I think the character looks great both in and out of costume. I think when the costume is in light, it really does look great. I know a lot of people were complaining about it after the first trailer. People were saying he looked more like Deadshot than he did Deathstroke, but when the suit is in light, he really does look like Deathstroke. He doesn't look like Deadshot. The suit looks great, and I cannot wait for Deathstroke to take on the Titans. So let me know down in the comments, what upcoming DC TV season are you most anticipating? Do you agree with my list? Do you not? Be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys sometime.
No way.
What?
Deathstroke.